I'd like to introduce Babul.
Whenever my wife asks me to buy cilantro, most of the time I end up buying parsley. Recently, we live in a neighborhood, we have a HOA, Homeowners Association. I got a violation notice for installing a wrong color brick on my existing pathway. I went to them and I asked him, like, why you did not tell me before? He said, did you read the rule book? I said, what rule book? And he handed over a big rule book. Go ahead and read it. We have this thermostat at home, and my wife complains about this thermostat. Why do I need to change when the time changes, or when it is night, when I was in, when I'm out? You don't learn from me. At least can this thing learn from me? So I have three problems. I'm not able to identify cilantro versus parsley. I can't really read the rule book and comprehend. I would rather read FINRA manual and clear the Series 7 exam rather than reading this book. Something that doesn't learn from the environment or from us. What's the solution? Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and distinguished guests, the solution is artificial intelligence. Let's talk about what is artificial intelligence, how it works, and some of the applications. What is artificial intelligence? It's a capability of imitating an intelligent human behavior. If you find any application that belongs to that statement, that is artificial intelligence. Some of the examples: game playing, robots, playing Jeopardy, chess, natural language processing. We are using several applications in our daily life. Siri, Alexa, Cortana, these are all natural language processing applications. Self-driving cars, you heard about them. So how do we achieve AI? Using machine learning. So what is machine learning? Machine learning, it has the ability to train computers without being explicitly programmed. What do I mean by that? So in a traditional programming, we have data and we apply some rules. The computer learns those rules, apply those rules on the data set, and produces the output. For example, if I take my cilantro parsley example, so the data is all the green leafy vegetable characteristics, and the rules are, if it is this size and this is the thickness and it has its length, then it can identify it is parsley or cilantro. In machine learning approach, it's opposite. We have data and we provide the output, saying that this is cilantro, this is parsley, and these are the characteristics. The machine generates the rules for you. And why this hype now? I can attribute it to three things. We are accumulating lots of data so that we can teach the computers to learn rules from the data. So that we don't have to explicitly write the rules. The second thing is the computing power. In terms of cloud, you ask for any size computer, you will get instantaneously. The third thing, cheap storage. It's dead cheap now in cloud if you want to store any data. So AI is capability of imitating human behavior To achieve AI, we use machine learning. So how does computers learn? There are three ways of learning or teaching computers: supervised learning, unsupervised learning, and reinforcement learning. Supervised learning. Let's say your boss comes to you, hey, here are a bunch of tasks. Can you classify them into important and not important? Based on your previous knowledge, you will divide them. So the output is predefined. That's what it is, supervised learning. In case if he asks you, I don't know what output I'm expecting, go figure it out based on your knowledge and give me the output. Then you may come up with 5 categories: important, not important, urgent, not urgent, useless. Maybe 5, right? That is unsupervised learning. Reinforcement learning. This is interesting. If you do a good job, he may give you a raise. If you do a bad job, maybe your rating is low. So that's what the reinforcement learning. So now we learned AI and machine learning. Let me apply that to my personal problems. How can I identify a cilantro versus parsley? So this machine is trained to recognize any green leafy vegetable. So this is already trained. The application is called Google Lens. If you take the Google Lens and put it on an image, it will tell you all about it. So I use that. And now, when my wife asks me cilantro, I buy cilantro. The second one, rule book. I don't want to read the rule book. I give this to an application. It will read that for me and identify what is important for me. If there is a fine involved, definitely I want to know. Right? I don't want to pay the fine. So those are the important insights that machine gives me. An example is Amazon Comprehend. It can read your documents, provide useful insights. If you want to apply these two things at work, for example, the previous one, supervised learning. In member regulation, we assess the risk of firms on a scale of medium, high, low. That is supervised learning. So you take all the historical data, understand their characteristics, and then you can classify all the firms into high risk, low risk, and medium risk. That's a supervised learning. The second one, in member regulation, we do a lot of examinations. During the examinations, we request a lot of documents from the firms. When we receive forms, when we receive documents, some examiners may read all, some examiners may not, because they want to know what is important for them. If we use machine learning, we can find out the important aspect of those documents so that they can spend their time wisely somewhere else. The third one, I've installed Nest at my house. So that is learning from my wife, from me, and from everyone. Whenever you turn the knob, it is learning. And when you come in, it knows that you are in, it automatically switches the temperature. Okay? Some of the AI applications, smart personal assistants, Siri, Alexa, Cortana, all these applications. Product recommendations, you might have already seen on Amazon. They recommend based on your previous purchase history. Image recognition. It is fascinating that insurance companies, they are actually reading the images of damaged cars, and they can identify whether it can be repairable or we have to write it off. It's pretty amazing. Chatbots. You may be thinking that when you are chatting with someone in a customer service, you may be talking to a robot. You may not be talking to a human. Speech recognition, all the applications that we use everyday life. Online advertising, based on your history, you will get the advertisements. Actually, by looking at the advertisements that you get, we can tell you who you are. Machine translation, language translation. Google translates so many languages into many other languages. So to know more about AI, I recommend reading 3 books. You know, if you want to become an expert in any topic, read 3 books on the topic. The second, Machine Age, actually Steve suggested that. The second one is the Executive Guide to Artificial Intelligence. And there is a free book on Kindle, Artificial Intelligence 101, the things that you should know now. Read through those 3 books. Now that I read those 3 books, I am a master in AI. So on the other day, I went back, my wife asked me to buy zucchini. I bought zucchini instead of cucumber. And she said, good job. But I don't know whether it is real or sarcasm. I need to find out another AI tool to identify that. Thank you.